Hi, Kerry here from My Cloud Bookkeeping. Today I'm going to be talking about the new navigation menu. And if you're thinking, what on earth is the navigation menu? It's the black bar down the left-hand side of your QuickBooks screen where you're used to just popping in and very easily choosing the different places that you want to navigate to. Now, quite a while back in the US, most QuickBooks files were changed to this new format. And then recently in Canada, it rolled out also. And if you're in the UK, you'll be seeing this version in the new year. Now, I've been trying to ignore it and just changing back to the view I'm used to, but I thought it was about time for me to have a look at it. Now, if you watch all the way to the end, I'm going to show you through the new menu, and then I'll show you how you can change back to that older view if you prefer it. But given now it's been rolled out to most users, I thought it was time I worked through how to use it, and I thought I'd show you also. Now, this is one of those things that I really don't understand why QuickBooks changed it. So to me, it was something that wasn't broken. The other menu worked. And it's just this whole other language that you're expected to learn and understand when I think it was all just working fine before. And I would love to know what you think.
Here we are in the sample company, and most of you will now be opening up to this view. And I don't find this useful at all, quite frankly. Everything that's here you can easily find in the new button up here, and we'll get to this in a sec. The business overview I think is a lot more useful. I like to have mine set up so I can see what income I've had for the last 30 days to keep on top of my monthly targets. And I also like to be able to see my income for the last 12 months. You can also click right through to your bank from here. This is just another one of the schedules that is standard that you can choose to have, move around, or take out. It's not what we're here to talk about today, but I just wanted to kind of get you to this place as you're opening in. So for me, it just kind of eases me into what's happening in my business before I start anything else. But while we're sitting here on this business overview, I just want to point out that reports are now hidden away in here. So they're in this business overview section, reports. If you're using projects, you'll notice that they're here too. There's also this cash flow page. I haven't used it much. If any of you are using this, I would love to hear how you find it, if there's anything useful in there. It's not something that I found useful myself or been able to direct any clients to yet. So anyway, we're going to go and we're going to have a look at what this new navigation menu looks like, with perhaps the idea that maybe it will work for you. So we've looked under our business overview. So now let's go to Get Paid and Pay. And here's where you go to find customers, invoices, products, and services. Previously, we had an option of having this on the navigation bar and across the top here. Now it's only on the left, but I don't really think that makes a big difference. It's all going to look the same once you get into those pages. Now you might notice that suppliers is down here also. So previously we had sales and we had expenses. I don't know how Get Paid and Pay is that much easier. I'm sure you are all totally capable of understanding what sales and expenses were. But anyway, this is the change that has happened. Now down here, yours may say vendors. Typically, I think the US version says vendors and the Canadian version says suppliers. It's the same thing. Now, if we pop back here, there's also customers and leads. Now, this brings up the customers section exactly as we were just looking at, but it also has marketing here. Now, this is most likely intended to be this connection with MailChimp. You may recall, I think I wrote a blog post on that earlier this year, or was it last year? Intuit purchased MailChimp. So there'll probably be some cool features available here if you're also a MailChimp subscriber. And this could be the subject of another video. So if you are connected to MailChimp, and this is something that you're looking at, by all means, reach out and let me know how you're finding it. I would love to hear. So we'll pop back over to here. We get to payroll, which is self-explanatory. Not a problem there. And then we come down to bookkeeping. Now this is where your bank feed is hidden away. Personally, I would just prefer the bank feed to be a lot easier to find. Previously, we had either banking or transactions, but I've had clients reach out freaking out because they just actually cannot find the bank feed. Here it is. Now do keep in mind also that from either the Getting Things Done page or the business overview page, if we go back to the business overview, you can click through to the bank accounts here. So you can see here in our checking, we have 12 to review. If we click here, it does open up this bank feed. So there, as before, there are still multiple ways to get to the same place. So we'll pop back to bookkeeping now. Here we are, and see what options we do have. So this is our transactions, the bank feed as we're accustomed to seeing. Now rules are no longer here across the top, they're here. And your chart of accounts is accessed from here as well, because this one hasn't been opened before. We have that extra bit. And tags, if you're using tags. Once again, this is something only a few of my clients have been using, and they've been using it quite successfully. It gives you just an extra dimension on your reporting. So once again, if that's of interest to you, do reach out. I'm not going to dive into it right here. Now further down here, we can see experts and my accountant. And if you have an accountant on your QuickBooks Online file, this is where you can very easily share documents. Obviously, that's not showing up here in the sample company. And then reconcile is here also. Gosh, that thing pops in and out quickly, doesn't it? You can still find it from the top right gear icon if that's your preferred route. So if you pop up to here and reconcile, it's still exactly here. So thankfully, that's not completely changed. The other way to find it is from your bank register. So if you're in your transactions here and you pop into your bank register, you still have the option to reconcile from here. So while this menu down the left-hand side has changed a lot of the other routes to these different areas are here as well. Taxes, thankfully, has not been changed around. You can still access sales taxes for any jurisdictions where you're registered. Apps is where you'll see any apps you have connected to your QuickBooks Online file. And of course, being a sample company, there are no apps here, just a bunch of suggestions. I do use some of these. I use BC Pay and Sync. I use Dex Prepare. If you're in the US, you'll be seeing a lot of different options, of course. But yeah, some of these are fantastic. If you ever need any help making connections or understanding what might be the best app for you, just do reach out. So let's have another look on the left-hand side here. You can see there are bookmarks, and I have bank transactions here because, as I've mentioned, it's kind of the place you need to start. Once you've had a look at what's going on, you want to pop in here. I kind of geekily do this on a daily basis, but if you're in there at least weekly, that's fantastic. And I can show you how to create a bookmark for anything else that is important to you. If we pop up to, say, let's get paid and pay. And maybe invoicing would be something that you would want to have bookmarked because it's something you want to be able to see very easily. Bang, here it is, and invoices, and it opens up that customer section. You do have the option to bookmark things you use often because now, of course, they're just all hidden away in here. I don't know why I dislike this so much. I just really do. And I'm obviously not the only person to think this because if we pop down to the menu settings here, you can see we can switch to the accountant view. Oh, and this is always such a relief to me. It's one of the first things that I do when I start working with a client because this is what I'm used to seeing. So if the new format is going to work for you better and you want to pop back to it, you switch to the business view and you could get used to it. Maybe it makes more sense to you and you can create your bookmarks. But if not, you know how to change it to the accountant view. And I would love to hear which one you prefer.
Well, if you're still with me and you haven't just rushed to change to the accountant view and get rid of that business view, I'd love to hear from you. Does this actually make your life easier? I can see perhaps the bookmarks would. Other than that, I don't think so, but I would love to hear from you. Also, if there's anything else you'd like to look at, let me know. I mentioned a few things in the video. There are tags, some other features that I haven't yet made a video on. So I'd love to hear if there's something you'd find useful or something you'd like to know more about. Comment down below, and as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.